Right, good morning guys and girls. It's been quite a while since I've done a video. We've been really busy this month, and in fact we've got a small construction related business, and it looks like we're having our best month ever this April. So good reasons for being absent, but I apologize to you guys that we're waiting for levels and my view of the chart. I hope you don't hear the humming of the inverter, because we're back to load shedding, stage 4 load shedding in South Africa. That's a result of our incompetent government. Let's just leave that there. Right, this is I'm just going to look at the Bitcoin chart on the 30-minute time frame, so just to get you in the same onto the same page as I am. This is basically the beginning of the Easter weekend. We had a drop here. That was the Easter weekend, and then the end of the Easter weekend, another drop. And then obviously yesterday we had this nice pump back up. So remember I told you before, if we move through an area fast, we normally move in the other direction fast again. So that is a good example of what happened there. Let me just show you there. So we had this bottom price action there, and then we had that price action there, and nothing happened there. But what happened when we came up here, we ran straight into that top area there, that volume area, and we found support on this area, the bottom area here. And now this is really good because it fills those gaps there. So when we go past, when we're at the top there and we come down, we maybe do that, then we might find better support here and move through this area slowly, then instead of just dropping straight down like that. So really good to fill these, can I say, these gaps. And on the footprint charts we talk about single prints. I think I've shown you that before as well, but when it moves fast like that, you can just basically remember that and mark it with a little block. You can just mark it with a block like that, and you can see in here, I've actually got it marked as SPs, that's single prints. So I mark it, and then I know when we come from the top, maybe just show you, when we come from the top, you always find there's a little bit of reaction there, and then they say the bottom of the single prints acts as a magnet, so sometimes you get a really good bounce off there, and maybe you can go up like that. So when you come from the top, it's the bottom that acts as a magnet, and you come from the bottom, it's the top that's the magnet. But there will always be a reaction at the start of the single prints, and then you might have an action like that. Let's just remove this one as well. Single prints, right. I'm just going to go through and give you a few levels that the levels I'm looking at that are really strong, and maybe a little bit of proof where they come from. So that's just been a major support and resistance level that you can just mark. You can decide if you want to mark it on your charts or not, but I'll just zoom out a bit so that you can see why I say that. Okay, I think that's far enough. Yeah, you can just see there all those touches there, support, and then resistance, once again big resistance now, just before the Easter weekend. Okay, I'm going to add them all on, and when I get too many I'm going to remove them. There's also a support resistance here at the bottom. You can just look back, look at that perfect touch there, and now again over the weekend there as well, perfect touches. The first one perfect touch, then week through. So you can basically say we swing failure at those lows there. Let's just zoom in there. Yeah, we swing failure there, and there was some liquidity there and there. Take that liquidity, and then it goes up to the top. I suppose we can just stay on the 1 hour chart until we need to zoom in to see something better. That was just a short-term level. I've got another support resistance flip here. I'm just marking it because it's acting really well. Is that that wick that we had there, and it formed a perfect resistance down there. There is another level that lines up with that. It's an older daily level. We'll get to that just now, or maybe I must just go there quickly now. I told you if these levels get touched, then you remove them. So this is a daily level, but it's acting so well as it's come well from very far. But you see how well it's acted as support there, and then resistance. So this level I'm just going to keep on my chart. I'll mark it as an older daily level, but it's still relevant. Then we have some local support here, what I call local support. You can see my magnet, I used it there, and on that touch there. I've moved it around a little bit after this area we moved through, because you can see how well it was respected there, and then as resistance there. Now we're above it, so for this line, or we are slightly bullish considering that line. I'm just going to leave it there for a while, and then we can remove it. Like, no, let me rather take it away. So this line, I used it on, I think I took it on the candle closes. Yes, on the 1 hour candle closes. There and there, that was my magnet. And you can see there some really good touches in there. And I think I've told you before, look at that. It came down resistance, wick through, and then it dropped down. Well, first support, then resistance, then again support. Yeah, you can see for yourself. Just look at those touches, beautiful. So if you shouldn't keep all the lines at the same time, but the line that's relevant I will leave there. So we close there, so I'll leave these lines there at the time of if I wanted to take a trade. Okay, the other line is also, well, I just took some different lines there, different points. So that was that touch point, but the points of the wick. So that was just a slight deviation there. You know what? Let me remove this other line. And so we had a wick through two. The first one was, you can say, a swing failure of that line, and then we had another. So there were a lot of traders that get in there. So Bitcoin has been doing this a lot lately. You have a swing failure of that level, and then you have a swing failure of the swing failure. So there was a lot of traders that got in there, that took a trade there, and then they thought they were up in profits, and then Bitcoin comes back and first takes that liquidity as well, and then moves back. See what happened there as well. There was a high, another high, and another high, and then it came down. We're not dropping hard, but that's what happened there. Let me just show you another one. Yeah, maybe that one there. There's a high, you think it's a high, you take the trade, and then it comes back and swing failures that as well. Yeah, here's another example. See, we went up here quite hard, and a wick come down, and normally people jump in there and they short there because it shows it leaves a selling tail. So the selling tail is also something for the footprint that comes out of the footprint charts, but it leaves it's a really hard rejection, and that's bearish. If it was a push up. So then they get in, and then Bitcoin comes back and stops them out, and then the real drop occurs. So if you got in on that trade there, yeah, you would have still been in business. Yeah, by the way, I actually marked that trade. I think I've deleted it now. Was it that one? Sorry, no, it's this one. I saw the volume, and I knew there was a big drop coming down there. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that there. It's gonna take some time, but I'm just gonna show you some really good levels. I think I've showed you this. No, I haven't showed you this one. Take those two touch points there, and then look at that. Oh no, that's the VWAP, but it's just been really good. It acted as resistance, go through, and then we find some momentum. There's also touch that one, and then it becomes a really good level there through there. So we're also bullish. Last night I wanted to long that, but I thought no, you shouldn't long when you're just after a big pump like that. So I just let it be. And then another level, I've just showed you that level. Oof, what have I done now? Apologies, I wanted to get it back to auto. That was until his December 21 high it was just a high volume node. So wondering why we stopped here. Let me remove some of these lines. Why we stopped here, we'll get to more of it just now, but that was a high volume node. Which you can find yourself with your fixed range tool. That was my short, and then the fixed ranges. Yeah, I want to just jump in here quickly. That's the one I want to show you. That little one there. If you look at that fixed range, I tried to get above it, but it couldn't, and once it broke, then we had the big pump. Also, we had the fixed range above us there, so yeah, the fixed range tool has been slightly modified on TradingView, so you can add, let me go into it. It actually helps a lot because you don't even need all these lines. So they've added the value area high and value area low lines here. So there the value area high is there and the value area low is there, so it just draws the lines automatically in for you. I just make them a little bit fainter so that it doesn't feel like my chart is over cluttered. But look there, that zone there, well, from when we dropped out of that previous range there, look how perfectly it acted as well, first as support coming down, then we broke through, and then we tried to go up, it was resistance, and then we went through. These fixed range, you know I love these fixed range pulls. They just give such good accuracy. Let me see what I did there. Fib retracement, why is it not working? No, I think it's a bit slow because of the video. Never mind. I think that was just a smaller one. Okay, moving on. There's some Fibonacci's. Let me just move that Fibonacci, so I want you to look at. Also a reason why we bounced off that level there. See, there's a Fibonacci from January, basically this year. This year's Fibonacci from the all-time low of this year to the high of this year. Very nice into that golden pocket. Just another Fibonacci you should be aware of is from that pivot we've got there to the low we've got. See, we're going to run into some resistance here, so remember that there's a major support resistance there, that line, and we've got that Fibonacci there. That one is just too small. Yeah, also just the Fibonacci to show. I'm just keeping it on my chart to show how perfect that golden pocket was there. Right, moving on to other levels. Those are not relevant. I think that's a bit high for us. But you can keep that. See how well that was respected. That's the 22 midpoint. You can use your Fibonacci tool and use the 0.5 level of the high and the low of 2022 of the whole year. That's how I got that midpoint. The market seems to respect those levels. The ray is not important for us now, and that one not for now. That's a key level. You can just check these levels if you want to mark them on your chart as I go through. Sorry, today's stream is going to be quite long because I want to make sure you got all these levels. That's just the high time frame level, also an important one. That ray is too far away. That one as well. That one as well. Poor lows and highs are not relevant now anymore. December 22 range, single prints. I'll show you where the single prints are. We've got a single print just below us here. Not the support resistance, that's the single print. The top of the single print is where we're gonna hit our first resistance, and I'll just click on the block so that you get both the top and the bottom of that little single print block. But that's not really relevant for us because that's like for day or scalp trades. Okay, and then the TPOs, I've just okay, there is a TPO, but there was one down there that I removed. I'm just going to take them off. Just now, this one should be removed, but also see that little wick that we had there. A TPO is a time point opportunity, and it's a naked point of control of the day, a daily naked point of control. And you can also call that a swing failure. So it's swing failure at that level, that TPO. So I can remove that now. I just left it there to show you how cool these levels are. The secret is obviously to be able to well, predict is a very wrong word to use in trading, but you want to do that. You want to have the levels lined up, and then you see if there's a reaction on it. So if it goes through and it comes back, you basically enter just below that level. So let me just go one back there, another one back here. So that's what you'll do. You'll sit here watching, and if it hits that level and if it pulls back quickly, fast, you'll go on the 1 minute. Let's just do that. today is really going to be long, but I just want to show you some of the things I do. So I'm hardly at the computer in front of the screen at the right time, but when I am, I really love to take these trades. You see there, that's on the 1 minute. So if it does that and it comes back, so the day traders sit here and they wait for that and they jump in right there. So you must also look at the bigger picture of the chart. Let's just go out again. So what happened here is we were going up, so we actually broke this level and we were right up there. So to long up there, it's not going to happen. We're definitely going to run into some volume resistance here. Let's just do this. See how this fixed range pull look like there. You see there's a point of control. So the point of control was there, and there was a TPO. So there's a confluence of resistance there. So if it goes in, and you could even have waited for the second for that point of control to be lost as well, and that high there to be lost. That's a safer entry, and you could have traded it down there. So let me just see what you waited for that loss there. That's a 1.2%. I will take that trade any day if I knew. We just had some really good. Let's just see what we reacted off here. Yeah, you see that basically that was a swing failure of that high, and you know when it goes there you can't long there. The only trade you take is a short or a no trade. But okay, I'm getting into scalp trading here and I shouldn't do that. That's just confusing. There's my fixed ranges, my fibs we've gone through. Those levels, TPOs we've done, I can remove them. And now the session point of controls. So the sessions are also on the footprint chart, so you can record them, but I wouldn't, it's not necessary. These are just for day trades or scalps. The naked point of controls are very important. So if you want to measure these or record these, so there's a naked daily, so that's quite important coming up. There was a monthly point of control that we also just worked through, so that was also a very, very, very strong level that we just took the liquidity and went back up again. Another reason for this action down here. I'm not going to show you any of that, so I want to show you the anchored VWAPs, but I'm not going to put everything on. I'm going to put that one on. I just marked it. It's better than leaving the VWAP on. See, there's the VWAP coming in. Now this is I have to go quite far back. I hope I can go. I think this is right back from the beginning of the Bitcoin chart. Not no. Sorry, no, this one is just from this low, from this year's low, the VWAP. Right. Go back to the 15 or the 30 minutes, probably better. Okay, so you got that VWAP, but draw your own VWAPs from all pivots, like the same points you'll pivot points that you'll use the Fibonacci. You can draw the VWAPs. I'm going to close it because it messes up my screen. I'll just close that down, but obviously you can see that's why that big reaction was there, combined with a major support resistance level history. It's just a very, very big level. Okay, this is really good stuff. Fibonacci, also again from this year's low, all-time low this year to the all-time low, and then that golden pocket, the 6.6 and the 0.618. Let me just bring it up and show you. So you go into the settings of the Fibonacci and the style. I'll just leave this here. You can just stop, pause the video and do these adjustments and add these levels or select these levels on your speed fan, Fibonacci speed fan. So now I'm going to zoom back out again. You'll see how well these levels was acting as resistance and support. That was the top one, 618. Look at it now. It's actually been building. The candle closes were our line. You can see the line there. And the bottom, look at that perfect touch, perfect touch. Man, can't make this up. You can obviously hear these levels really excite me. I think this is from the all-time high, this Fibonacci speed fan. Yes, and you can see, let's just go down to the 4 hour. I might still fit it in. See some reaction down on that line. See that reaction there, down there. Love this. Down to the 30-minute, and then it starts making sense. Right. So you can't just blindly trade off any of these levels. You combine them, and then you look for confluence, and then you try and work out a trade that'll work. And then the channel, I'm just going to show you this one channel. I've showed you this one before. It's a Fibonacci channel. It works exactly the same as a normal channel. I'll just hover over that so you can see where's my magnet points. So there, there, and there. Or well, you're going to draw the channel from here to there, and then you pull it up to that point there. And you can just check the levels. Let me just click on it quickly so you can see my levels that were selected. Pause the screen, record them, and then you'll see this 236 level, how really well it's been respecting. 382 as well, not bad. We're heading up to there as well now, 41, but 42 we know there's going to be resistance up there. Okay, channel off, a bit of a lower time frame. Now we're getting to the higher time frame levels, or the horizontals, whatever you want to call them, dailies, weeklies and monthlies. And this is what I actually want to get to, because this is so easy for you to get these levels. I've showed you this before. You can just go back in some of the videos. So that daily has obviously been tapped here, but I just want to show you, this is probably why we just reacted off that level, or why we rejected this morning. I think these were the Chinese, 2 o'clock, when the, sorry, I'm saying the Chinese, the Asia market, but it is the China market that went up there, tested it, and now we're hovering. So if we test it again, then it becomes weaker and weaker, otherwise we go down. Weekly, yeah, you can see I've got a preferred weekly level. I'm not going to go back to where I found it. You can do that yourself, but you can see my level, so you'll be able to find it. Now this is an older level. I've just spoken about that level earlier. And another daily. So just look at this daily. So man, that's so perfect. And again, so now it's been weak through this daily, but I'm just going to keep it because it was so well respected. So I'm also going to call this a older daily later on. There we have another daily. It's also older. It's been respected, so I'm just going to keep both of these on for a while longer. And this is the golden nugget for the morning. There's a monthly level. That's why I said you must keep these levels on your chart. So that was, man, this was so perfect. Let's just zoom in a bit. So if you sat there waiting, that's a perfect swing failure pattern. It actually went through, pulled back. See, that one came close to it. So there were some early traders there. Remember I spoke about this a bit earlier. So that was the low, and then a lot of traders jumped in when there was that hard rejection, and then it came back a second time, and then it actually clipped the level. So when it runs up to a level like that, sometimes the market will fool you, and that'll just be a front run, and it will go on its way. But lately, if I was you, I would wait. I won't jump in a trade there. I will wait for it to actually touch the level, and then you can go in aggressive. But just, I mean, do your own analysis and do really good risk analysis. You know how much you're prepared to lose and not to lose, or how much you can't lose. But don't trade with money you're not prepared to lose, because it's a game of probabilities, and it's really close to gambling. And don't get hurt, please. We want to trade again tomorrow. Those are just levels that I'm just keeping on my chart. And to end it all off, just to show that I don't just talk, I did do, I think I had 2 Bitcoin trades that were profitable, but I deleted them now. That one I showed you just now, where was that short trade? That was the evening. Let me see where that was. Yeah, you see 10 o'clock at night, and I wasn't prepared to open a position because I want to wait for my first take profit to move my stop loss to entry. I don't want to go to bed with my stop loss open and leave the opportunity open, for a big loss. But that was one of my, can I say, proper paper trades. And then I did take some other trades. So this is I jumped into a Maps trade here again. So Maps has got a real app. I actually got it on my phone. So it's a real life project this, and they've been doing quite well. You can see they've been on the charts for, yeah, I just love maps. Let me just go into my maps. Now there you can see I've had 8 trades, and this is my 9th trade on maps. I haven't won all of them, but let's just have a look. I had a really good first trade on maps. No, I got stopped out on my first one. Second one stopped out. Third one did well. Got to take profit 4, yeah, and then got stopped out. Fourth trade, got stopped out. Fifth trade, yeah, that was a take profit 1 and 2, that was a short. Sixth trade, take profit 1 and then got stopped out. Seventh trade, just stopped out. Eighth trade, stopped out, and now ninth trade. Let's see how it goes. So normally my invalidation or my stop losses are really close. So this one is quite a big one, but I was sure that we were going to go up. But I tried to keep it at around 5%, so that if I go on 3x leverage, then I'm at maximum 15%. And then I never go with my old account. I probably go with 25% or less of my of that specific trading account. So just to give you an idea of so in the end my risk is really small. So it doesn't really matter if no, it doesn't matter. I don't want to get stopped out, but my risk is small, so I'm prepared to take higher risk trades. And then Zelica, it's a bit complicated. I'm still in that first trade there where I took really aggressive profits, 50% and 25%, and then it went high. I just kept it open. I was hoping it will go a bit higher, but there's only 25% of my profit left, so I've moved my stop loss to entry, obviously, and then I entered again, and now this stop loss is at this entry, but it's all at break even, so I haven't really got a risk here, even if it looks like I'm going in the red. I've just added to my previous position. So that one is there, and then I also opened what's it called, FTX, yeah, that my trading account there. I opened a trade on that coin, but yeah, I've just jumped in there. I initially overnight I had it there at the Fibonacci. I wanted it to pull back a bit to the Fibonacci, but this morning when I saw that Bitcoin was holding, then I knew that the market is never going to go, well, not never, but it shouldn't go down there. If it goes down there, I'm probably going to move my stop loss up there anyway. But from here we should be going up, and there's my take profit, so that's really quite an aggressive take profit. And then I also set a trade for Chili's last night. So Chili's is basically an NFT platform, and they got quite a lot of sports teams, I think football and baseball teams in America, that's online with them. So they did quite well before, with the last boom, but I expected it. I wasn't in there. I was waiting for a retrace back into this bigger Fibonacci. See, I had a big fib pull there, and I expected it to come back, but I mean that was the pullback down there already. It didn't come back again. So I'm not going to risk more, because I've already got 2 trades that are a bit close to their entry. So I'm not. I've actually stopped this entry. So I first want those 2 trades to move away before I enter another trade. And I'm just watching Engine. Yeah, those are the other ones I'm watching. But Oxy, I did some good trades in Oxy, but Oxy is not Oxygen. I think I've showed it in one of my videos before, but this is not looking good. It's just dropping away and away and away. So I've marked the weekly, and I've set an alert there. So I first wanted to reclaim the weekly, and that'll be the first sign of strength. And then there's some major upside. That's the BTC pair, but I always first look at that. But if you zoom in, it looks like there's something happening, but zooming out, nah, the weekly, I've marked this weekly, but also that support resistance. I might get into a small trade if it reclaims the weekly, but I won't. I will double up when it confidently reclaims that low there. Okay, so yeah, that's been probably one of my longest ever videos. So, but you get the idea when you see these levels, and you see even on the altcoins, I make it really simple. I do my levels, my daily, weekly and monthly levels. Let me just go up to one, say the Zalika one. I'll show you my levels. See, obviously I show my positions. The horizontals is just support resistance. I have Fibonacci's, and my fixed range is there. It's a big one from the past, and then my high time frame levels and my dailies and all that, and there's my trade. Very simple, but my levels are those higher time frame levels, dailies, weeklies and monthlies. Right, that's it. Keep your eyes on the charts, and I'll speak to you again hopefully tomorrow. Cheers.